First of all, I think it would be wise just to watch the whole video through before talking about it, because I think what has got to be said about this trailer has already been said 100 times on other breakdown trailers. What I want to do is speculate. Try to speculate rationally based upon what the ramifications of what we've seen are and the inevitability of some things, in my opinion. So let's just watch the trailer. Clearly all we've seen, I mean, you know, I'm not going to get into the speculation just yet, but we've seen, you can see that tree textures have been improved with the barks. There seem to be more varied trees, which is a nice little thing if that's applied to rocks too, and other plants and organic matter. That will be fine. That will be wonderful. Different cave textures too, perhaps, with a bit of luck. But I've just put it on repeat. I'm not going to pause it because I'm using Share Factory, and I can do that by taking photos, but it's a pain in the butt. And it's only a speculation. Doesn't really require a pause, really. So let's start speculating, shall we? First thing, it's clear that it's a little denser. There's more in this cave than you would normally see. That thing there, I'm wondering. We're in a cave. The thing is about Next is it improved caves. It made them bigger, more spacious, but it removed creatures from caves, which was an odd thing to do, in my opinion. They improved caves a good 100%, but then removed any reason to go down those caves. It seems to me that the only aspect of No Man's Sky not to have been filled out yet is caves. Underwater, tick. Space, tick. Space battles, tick. Space stations, tick. Base building, tick. Story, tick. Caves? Caves seem the only one that have gone backwards in terms of reasons to explore. So why did they start this clip inside a cave? Why did they start this clip inside a cave with a building, a teleporter, and a strange new device we'd never seen before? Why? Why open it in a cave? That character's walking back, strolling into this cave as if this could be their living quarters. They could be their base. We've obviously got different factions too, which is important. We've got all these different looking creatures now. What would be the point in that? What are the ramifications for having lots of different types of looks? To show off to your mates? Okay, that'd be fine, wouldn't it? But what if you can have different factions? What if you can have a faction of 8 people against 8 other people? What if you can make your own faction names up, and that faction name then gets pushed to the server, and you can become famous or infamous, travelling the universe, taking other factions. Riding, before we get into that, riding creatures. For that to be meaningful, there's got to be more than just you walking up to a creature, feeding it, jumping on its back and riding it. That would be so boring and dull. They would want to apply some sort of game loop to it. So, feeding. surely necessitates an ongoing process of looking after the creature. They're all moderately sized creatures, which is what I would have expected anyway. We all know that the riding the creature thing was coming, of course. They spoke about it a long time ago. If some of you have forgotten, then maybe this was a surprise, but to me it was, at last it's there. We knew it was coming. Those of us who have followed No Man's Sky right from the very beginning knew it was coming. And it's here at last. But why would we be able to just ride a creature? Maybe we could build a paddock for it. Maybe we can feed it. Maybe we have to feed it. The ships are now bigger, necessitated obviously by the fact that we now got VR, and VR we've got to be able to look around in first person. That's a necessity that leads to something else. The ability to have more things in our ship. The ability for the ship to appear to be able to contain more things. I.e. 2 characters. Or an animal or creature. So that you can put your creature onto your ship and land on a planet and use your creature to walk around that planet rather than using the vehicle. Now if you could have another character in there with you, another player in there with you, then you've got co-op. Something that many players have been asking for, not necessarily full multiplayer bang for your buck, pew pew killing everyone and running away type multiplayer. Just your co-op. You know, you get in touch with your buddy on the other side of the world and you jump in the same ship and together you fly off into space. He mans the guns, you man the controls, you're trying to avoid the enemy, he's trying to kill the enemy, you work together in co-op to destroy the enemy. And you explore the universe together. Not as a multiplayer game, not as a single player game, but as a co-op game. As if only you two exist in that entire universe. That would be cool. That might be something I would even touch upon myself, because you know by now I'm not a multiplayer fan. I never have been. I play No Man's Sky because it was lonely. Because I was the sole observer of the universe I was exploring, because I was alone out there. I got further and further away from Earth. I got further and further away from civilization and people. That was the draw of No Man's Sky. That was the thing that drove lots of people to want to play No Man's Sky. From my initial my memory of the conversations I used to have when No Man's Sky first dropped and we all had channels and we was talking about it. Those gentle folk, we were like little hobbits going off on an adventure. Yes. But the anomaly, not the anomaly, the Nexus. Are we being tricked here? You watch it go into that Nexus. You watch the cut. There's a cut. I'm not convinced those two are the same thing. I don't think the anomaly is now the Nexus. I think the Nexus is separate from the anomaly. And that now, this is massive speculation. What if, let me give you a list of what ifs. What if you can go in the Nexus and you can summon 8 of your friends or 8 random people that you wish to eventually form a faction with. You name your faction, and that little square transparent box we see in the trailer is where we input all this information. We lock it in, we call our faction Kill the Gek for Cobra, and sure enough that's what the faction is now called. We can make our own little flag, our little emblem, and we make our own little emblem, and now there's 8 of us in this nexus. But what if, when you're in the nexus, the universe doesn't exist? What if the nexus is the seed, and we are the seeders? What if we can give birth to a solar system, just like we've given birth to a star in the previous iteration, that we still do give birth to a star? What if we can give birth to a solar system, and as a faction we can control that solar system? We have control of its economy, of its planets, and that solar system's ours. And as more and more people build factions and own more solar systems, slowly but surely, through online integration, we seed and build a universe of our own. So the players form the factions seed a solar system, the solar systems build and build and build and build, until eventually we seed a universe. Not only that, but we seed it as we want it. What if that terminal we see hasn't just got a way of changing the name of your faction, hasn't just got a way of generating a solar system, but what if it's also got data to change the types of planets that are going to be available within your solar system? You want 5 cold planets? 5 cold planets. You want it closer to the sun, further away from the sun. You want lush planets, paradise planets. You want icy planets. You want a combination of all these different planets. We've already seen something similar to this using the portals, haven't we? You go into a portal and you go into a separately seeded solar system. You can't go beyond that solar system. You are locked into that one single seeded solar system. What if the Nexus is just simply that? It's the extension of that. The single solar system is yours, but the more people that seed their own solar systems, the bigger the universe grows. So the next solar system is seeded next door, and then suddenly you can go out into space because somebody else has seeded a solar system. And slowly but surely, those solar systems grow. The more factions there are, the bigger the solar system, that the universe grows, and the galaxy grows, sorry, not the universe, the galaxy. That makes sense, especially when you're looking at the future of streaming. When you look at Google, when you look at Sony with its streaming PS Now, and its deal with Microsoft. And then you look at Microsoft talking about streaming. Imagine millions and millions and millions of people getting together to form 8 player factions. I'm saying 8. It could be 12, it could be even 16, but I'm saying 8 just to be on the safe side. And everyone builds their own universe. It can hold 18 quintillion planets. I don't know how many trillions and trillions of planets a single galaxy holds. I suppose you just divide that number by 256 last time I heard. But you get the point. Then the Nexus becomes separate from single player. Single player returns to what it was before for the purists. Not even a hint that people exist out there. And Nexus becomes a completely separate online entity all of its own. I think that's potentially what's going to happen. Other smaller things I've noticed. Looks like electricity, as many have already pointed out. You see, that cuts off there. It's not letting you see beyond that. Now I could deal with that. What is that? I could deal with it if it got more complicated. If it became more a don't starve on a planet. I would happily spend hours and hours on a planet learning to survive. But you see the trees. Look at the trees. They've got far more. Look, textures. Lots of different textures for trees. Another thing. Why show you a planet using a filter? Yeah, okay, they'll remove the filters. Yeah, I get that. We couldn't take photos with filters. Not like we used to. So, but why? Is that really a big bit of news? Watch this. Watch as they enter. Watch. Watch. Right, there. Did you see that? Did you see that? I think that could be a bit of a little bit of a trick. There's also some piping down on the floor there. If you can't pause it, I do apologise. And I'm wondering. Do you see that box we just passed? That's where you input the that's where you input every planet procedural. And once you've seeded your solar system, you leave there and you're in your solar system. That can't be the anomaly. There's too much tied to the anomaly now. There are rooms dedicated to the story in the anomaly now. That's too big to be the anomaly, in my opinion. It might look like the anomaly, but I still think that I still think it's going to be a cube. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just got this idea it's going to be a cube. A vast cube floating in space. I think that's the anomaly we're looking at there. And this little cut here, bang there, that is not what we think it is. I think we're seeing two different locations there. There's that pipe there on the left there. But yet, stabling for your animals, collecting animals, even maybe having a zoo, a selection of animals to be able to ride where you've got to feed them, look after them, or they will die. That would be cool. That's too big for the anomaly. And it looks like it's a building that would not be square. So that's my speculation. That's what I think could happen. This is only speculation now. This is not a promise. So don't get on me. The next is we create a faction. We give birth to a solar system. As each faction gives birth to a solar system, the solar system grows and grows into a fully fledged galaxy that we've created, that's seeded to the entire world through online and through streaming and through the Xbox and through PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and beyond. Hence, No Man's Sky. Beyond. They're my thoughts. I'd like to know what you think, and all that's left is to say fare thee well, toodle pip, au revoir, and all that good stuff. See you again. Bye.